Hey, Math 1. Here we go. We are starting a new section, 3-4, on page 195. If you want to go ahead and open up. We are going to be talking about point-slope form today. If you remember, we just finished talking about slope-intercept form, which is the y equals mx plus b. And the reason it was called slope-intercept was because you were given the slope and you were given the y-intercept. So when you do point-slope form, guess what? They're going to give you a point and they're going to give you the slope. All right, those crafty math people. All right, let's go through and see what slope or point slope form looks like. It looks a little bit more complicated, but actually it's a lot easier than the other one. It's just not very easy. I don't know, you can graph with it too. Anyway, this is what point slope form looks like. The y and the x right here with the ones underneath them are literally ordered pair. Those are numbers that will go in here. This y and this x will stay as an x and a y, and again, your m is your slope. So they're telling you what goes in what. Your x coordinate goes here, your y coordinate goes here, and your slope gets inputted there. All right, so if you need to, rewrite that on the top of every page or somewhere like that until you get it memorized, and you can go through and do that. So here we go. We have a line that passes through this point and has this slope. So point slope. Hey, wouldn't it be a great idea to use point slope form? Remember, this is your x coordinate. This is your y coordinate. So going to point slope form, you start with the y first. So you do y minus your y coordinate. Well, since I'm minusing a negative here, that actually becomes an addition sign. Your slope comes next in the formula. And then you do x minus your x coordinate, which in this case is an 8. There you go. So it says, what equation is in point slope form? What is so there you are. Okay, same thing here. If you need to pause the video, pause it. I'm going to take this point and the slope and put it into point slope form. So y minus the y coordinate, which is 2, equals negative 5/3, which is your slope. X minus 4. Remember, these are always minus signs right here, subtraction signs, unless your coordinate is a negative, and then when you're subtracting a negative, it really changes to an addition problem. All right, same thing here. Pause the video if you need to. You're going to be subtracting a negative, so that becomes a positive. There's your slope, x plus 2. I will tell you the most common mistake that happens is this is your x and your y coordinate, but when you go write the equation, your y comes first, but kids get the x and the y coordinates backwards because they're listed in alphabetical order here, but here they're backwards. All right, here we're going to graph using this, which it's fairly similar to the other one. It's just the other one gave you your y-intercept. This one's giving you literally an ordered pair. So the first thing you're going to do is take the equation and you're going to pull out the point that was put in its spot. So right here, what's associated with your x? Well, it's a 4. And then I come over here, what's associated with the y? Well, since I see a positive 7, that means it had to have been a negative because we were subtracting a negative. So this is the point that was inserted in. And we know that our slope is negative 4/5. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to skew just a little bit. Oops. Wow, that was way off. Okay. Anyway, I'm trying to look at my phone. It's not as easy. Look through your phone and do this. All right, so here we go. We're going to graph the point for negative 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is right here. So this one's not going to be an intercept, but it is an ordered pair. So you're going to graph the point for negative 7, and then your slope is negative 4/5. Still rise over the run. So if I went down 4 and right 5, that would put me right off the graph. So I'm going to do the opposite movement. So I'm going to go up 4 and left 5. And that would put me right here. And if I could do it again, I would. But you're going to use your slope from there. So your rise over your run, when you finish, double check that that is a negative sloping line. Is it falling going from left to right? All right, so the top of the next page on page 197, again, what I would do is pull out the ordered pair. So it looks to me like the ordered pair would be a negative 2, negative 5. Since they're both positives, my coordinates had to both be negative. All right, so I'm going to make that a little better. Okay, and my slope right here is what is in front of this parenthesis, which is I see a negative, but that's really a negative 1. And remember, it's the rise over run, so go ahead and put a 1 under it. So negative 2, negative 5 is right here. And then from that point, you're going to go down one, right one, down one, right one, down one, right one, or I can go up and left, up and left. All right, so there's my line. All right, try this one on your own and see how you do. Actually, let me go ahead and change this for you because you're going to have to be running 9, and that makes it really awkward. Let's do, how about 4/3? That might make it a little bit easier. Let's make the slope 4/3. All right, so the first thing I did was the 0.32. That's right here. There's my initial starting point. On this one, though, you rise and you run, so I could have gone up 4 over 3, but that really would have taken me off the graph, so I chose to go down 4 and left 3. And then I could probably even do that again. All right, and then I would have my line. All right, so not bad at all. The only difference is you're not starting on your y-axis. You're just given any random point in there. Okay, I don't think, let's see. Last of the problem, use this point instead of, okay, so we're going to write the equation. I don't really know what this is going on, but we are going to write the equation using these points. So again, I need my slope. I'm given points. Actually, I'm given 2 points. I only need 1, but we need to find our slope. So we're going to do it the same way as we always have. You take your 2 points. All right, and you need to find your slope given the 2 points. So remember, you subtract your y, so -3 minus 4 over, and then I'm going to do my x's, so -2 minus 1. Again, if you are subtracting a negative, change it to an addition sign. So up on top, we get -7 over -3, simplify down, and you get positive 7/3. All right, so this is your slope. Now, in order to put it in 2-point slope form, you need the slope and a point. Well, I have the slope, and actually I have 2 points. So it's completely up to you which point you want to pick. You would have 2 separate answers here. To start with, the graph itself would always be the same, but you just are given 2 random points on that line. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this point for right now. And I do y minus the y coordinate, which is 4. Then I put my slope, which we simplified to a positive 7/3. And then we do x minus 1. If you chose this point up here, you would write y plus 3 because you're subtracting a negative. Slope is still 7/3, and then it would be x plus 2, again, subtracting a negative. So either one of these answers would be just fine. All right, so let's come over here on number 5, and we need to write an equation in point slope form for this. So again, I need a point and a slope. Well, they're giving me a point right here, so it looks like the point is 1, 1. All right, over 1, up 1, I have that. Now we need to find the slope. So in order to find the slope, we need to, I would use these 2 points, and you can use this one for your other one too, it doesn't really matter. But we need to figure out how do we get from one to the other. So we're gonna draw in our slope triangle right here, and we're gonna do some counting. 1, 2, 3, we went down 3, that's a negative. Then we moved to the right, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so our slope is going to be the rise over the run. Excuse me. Excuse me. All right, so I'm going to use this point. You can use this point up here if you really want. This point, this slope, so point slope form. Oops, not that. Y minus 1 is equal to -3/4 x minus 1. And there we go. All right, so again here, choose one of the points. I'm going to choose this point to use right here, which is 1, 2. So I'll be using the point 1, 2, and then we're going to draw in our slope triangle. Definitely a positive. So we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, and we're going to run over 1, 2, 3, 4. So rise over run. So our slope is going to be 3/4, and then I'm going to put this into point slope form. So y minus 2 equals 3/4, x minus 1, and there we go. Okay, using a table to write it, you're going to be doing the exact same thing. what you're going to do is you're going to find your slope just like we normally do. You remember, you pick 2 points, subtract these over, get your slope, use either one of those points. The only thing I want to talk about here is, what does it say when the slope represents something? It's going to be, this is the volume of water in a tank over time, so it's increasing. So it is how much water is filling per hour, okay? So it's gallons of water per hour is what your slope would represent. I think we've talked about that before, but I'm not going to go through the math here. I don't have a calculator handy, and you guys can do it. We've done this before. You just find your slope, pick a point, write out your point slope form. All right, so here we go. What are the slopes? I'm on the bottom, page 199. What are the slope and 1 point that's on this graph? So again, I'm going to pull the information out. So I'm going to start with my x over here. Since it's a +7, I know the point was a negative. Here I had a 12. So there's the point, and then this will be our slope. So the slope is 4/9. Okay, so here we go. Write an equation that passes through this. So we're going to be doing this. So again, here's my x and y ordered pair. So since your y is a -8, you're going to write +8. Your slope looks like it's a -2, so you write x - 3, and there it is. Here, if you're going to graph it, you're going to pull the information out. Your ordered pair looks like it's -2, 4, and your slope is 3, which is 3/1. All right, in order to do here, you're going to have 2 separate answers. It does not matter which one you use, but first you have to find your slope. So you have the point 2, 4, and you also have -1, -2. You're going to subtract. So subtracting your y's over your x's. Make sure you're taking your time matching those up. So you're going to get a -6 over a -3, which simplifies down to a +2. Choose either point. It doesn't matter. If you choose this one, you're going to write y - 4 equals 2 parenthesis x - 2. If you chose this one up here, you're going to get y + 2 because it's a negative. And then this is also a negative, so it becomes an x + 1. And either one of these 2 answers is sufficient. All right, for your homework, let's see. You're going to be doing IXL, S22 and S23 up to a 90 each. I believe they're going to be giving you some graphs and you have to work it through. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions with that. And that's it. All right, good luck.